Assalamualaikum and good morning. My name is ZAHRA LANA BINTI KHAIRUDDIN from SMK Keroh. Have you ever tried to forget something painful, only to realize that the more you try to forget, the more it stays with you? Today, I would like to share a novel that deeply explores this idea, The Garden of Evening Mist by Tan Chuan Eng. This novel is a historical fiction set in post-war Malaya, mainly in the calm and beautiful Cameron Highlands. However, beneath its peaceful setting lies a story filled with trauma, memory, and emotional struggle. I chose this book not only because it tells the story, but because it makes us reflect on how the past shapes who we are today. Before I begin, I would like to briefly talk about the cover of this novel. The cover of The Garden of Evening Mist often features a calm and misty garden with soft colors and a peaceful atmosphere. At first glance, it looks quiet and beautiful, but at the same time, it feels distant and slightly mysterious. This reflects on the story itself, a surface that appears calm, but underneath, it holds deep emotions, memories, and pain. Just like the mist in the garden, the past in this novel is never fully clear, yet it is always present. This novel has around 350 to 450 pages and is classified as a historical fiction, focusing on war, memory, and identity. What makes it even more special is the writing style of Tan Chuan Eng. His writing is elegant, descriptive, and emotionally rich, with strong imagery that allows readers to visualize every scene clearly. Instead of fast actions, he focuses on quiet moments and deep emotions, making the story feel more personal and impactful. To better appreciate this novel, let us explore its storyline. The story follows Yunling, a survivor from the Japanese occupation during World War II. Although she survived, she lost her family, including her beloved sister. These painful memories continue to haunt her, even many years after the war. As an adult, Yunling becomes a judge, a symbol of her strength and resilience. But her life changes when she is diagnosed with a condition that will slowly take away her memory. Knowing that she will soon forget everything, she returns to Cameron Highland, a place filled with memories she once tried to escape. There, she decides to fulfill her sister's dream, to build a Japanese garden. This leads her to Aritomo, a former Japanese imperial gardener who now lives in isolation. At first, Yunling resents him because he reminds her of the suffering she experienced during the war. However, as she becomes his apprentice, their relationship slowly changes. Through the process of creating the garden, known as Yugiri, Yunling learns about patience, discipline, and silence. At the same time, hidden truths about Aritomo's past begins to surface, forcing Yunling to question her own emotions, her sense of justice, and her ability to forgive. However, this novel is not just its storyline. It carries deeper meanings that are worth reflecting on. What makes this novel truly powerful is its exploration of memory. It shows that memory is not just something we remember, but something that defines who we are. Yunling initially wants to escape from her past. She believes that forgetting will free her from the pain. But as the story progresses, she realizes that forgetting is not healing. True healing comes from accepting the past, even the painful parts of it. The garden, Yugiri, becomes a symbol of this journey. Just like a garden needs time, patience, and care to grow, emotional healing also takes time and effort. From my perspective, this novel has taught me several important lessons. From this novel, I learned that forgiveness is not about forgetting what happened, but about letting go of the pain it brings. Yunling struggles to forgive, especially towards those connected to her suffering. But the story teaches us that holding on to anger will only trap us in the past. Personally, this novel made me realize that everyone has their own hidden struggles. As a student, I may not have experienced war, but I understand what it feels like to be hurt, disappointed, or misunderstood. This story reminds me that running away from those feelings will not make them disappear. Instead, we must face them, accept them, and grow stronger because of them. This novel made me realize that, and perhaps the most powerful message of all, sometimes the hardest prison to escape from is not a place, but our own memory. In conclusion, this novel leaves a lasting impact on its readers. The Garden of Evening Mist is not just a story about the past, but a story about healing, identity, and moving forward. I highly recommend this novel because it is meaningful, emotional, and deeply thought provoking. It reminds us that even in the darkest moments, there is still a chance for peace. Thank you.